And we got it right now?
Yeah, we got it now.
Can you hear us now?
I'm sorry.
Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now, Deep State? You did that, Deep State.
No, I
You're
forgot
the one
to.
that rigged it. No,
I forgot to.
it's Deep State.
I forgot to unmute it because this guy likes to talk over
Whatever.
everything that's happening.
Whatever, bro. Whatever. Give him the intro, bro. Start the intro,
All right.
man.
Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. I'm Matt. I've got a perspective on things. This is Ray, aka the Strong One. He's also got a perspective on things. And we got a green screen.
What?
What?
Where are we? What magical world are we in right now?
The world of movie magic.
Movie magic.
The world of chroma keying.
What? Now, here's the crazy thing, man. So, speaking of movie magic, I just watched a movie yesterday.
What's that?
I don't know if you heard of it before. It's called Jurassic Park. You ever seen that one before?
I've heard of it.
Bro, listen, Time Out on the Field.
It's great.
The graphics still hold up today.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Spielberg did it right, man. He really killed that, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, he's probably one of those creepy pedos in Hollywood, but that was, it was so funny because I don't think my daughters have ever actually seen the original Jurassic Park. So we put him to bed, like, right before the Tyrannosaurus Rex part, you know what I mean? Before he starts, like, mauling people and stuff. Mm-hmm. Violet sneaks out, runs out there, and she's like, I heard of the T-Rex. Can I watch the T-Rex? We're like, no, it's too scary for you right now. But it really is, man. It's, like, terrifying.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
What takes it up another level is the graphics are phenomenal. And the cutscenes when they had just the head of the T-Rex definitely, like, looks very lifelike. And they're coming after kids. The first person the T-Rex is going after is the freaking kids. You remember that?
I do remember that.
As a parent, my heart hurts. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. It was,
terrifying.
I mean, they did. See, the reason why it holds up is because they did it as practical as they could.
Yeah, man. Dude.
So it wasn't like,
all CGI.
All CGI.
Yeah.
Which now looks great and will hold up for a long time, but back then it wouldn't have.
Dude, crazy, man. But anyways.
And Raptors were the coolest thing to me.
Crazy. But first of all, I reclaim my time, okay?
I'm sorry.
I'm reclaiming my time.
The gentleman in the red.
I'm reclaiming my time.
The gentleman from Ohio is reclaiming his time.
I'm not in Jim Jordan's district. That makes me a little sad. It made me sad that I wasn't in Jim Jordan's district, but it is what it is, man. So, long story short, the episode today is reclaiming my time, man, because there's just some crazy stuff going on. And I'm going to be real with you.
Do you hear this? Deep State Life and Biden finds a way.
Life finds a way. Jeff Goldblum is such a rock star in that movie too. By the way,
for sure.
Like I know he's The Fly. I know he's in other movies, but like, honest to God, like the couple things you forget about Jurassic Park, you forget that it's a horror movie. It's an actual horror movie. It's scary, And then you got Jeff Goldblum who's just dropping nuggets left and right in that movie, and it's just like phenomenal. It is so phenomenal. But anyways,
I've got a meme where he's lying in the bed with his shirt open.
Yeah.
And it just says, my body is ready. That's one of my favorite.
Well, the scene where they're like running away from the T-Rex and they like almost get just eaten, as they're driving away in the Jeep, and he's like, I wonder if that's going to be on the tour. It's like, dude, you schmuck. You almost died. Like, quit being a sarcastic, a-hole, but it's just so funny.
No can do.
But anyways, I reclaim my time, okay? I'm reclaiming my time.
Whatever.
I'm just going to reclaim it. If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch the video of, Attorney General Anthony Barr absolutely dispatching basically no-name Democrat House members. Like, have you heard of any of those people
when they
before?
let him speak.
I know. But, like, he just dispatched them in the moment. Like, that's the amazing thing, is you can go on a 4-hour diatribe and just talk forever and ever and ever. But when you hit one-liner after one-liner after one-liner after one-liner in between all this stupidity, it's absolutely hilarious. So, I was an Attorney Barr fan before, but I'm really a fan now. Mm-hmm. Since he's been digging up and really exposing the entire Russian collusion delusion, which is hilarious if you still believe that at this point. I have got beachfront property in Arizona. All you got to do, send $1,000. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Send $1,000 to locals, and I will get you the inside track of the beachfront property in Arizona. But it is an amazing thing watching him dispatch people and dominate. But but the only rebuttal they had was, I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time.
And then you don't get to speak, and I'm just going to rant about how evil you are. I'm not going to ask you any questions, about the topic that we're discussing, in which you are here as an expert.
Yes.
I'm just going to rant about how evil you are, and how you're clearly doing all these things to get Trump the election.
Well, the best part is they never asked him a question.
They didn't.
They never asked
Only
him.
the Republicans asked him questions, and they were serious questions.
Yeah.
And then he answered them.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And the best part is like, oh, was that a question? Was that a statement or a question? Like, it's like, they didn't try to he tried to ask for a bathroom break. They wouldn't give it to him.
Yeah.
All the go ahead.
No, yeah, it was like right near the end.
Yeah.
But and yeah, it's just a silly power play.
Oh yeah.
By this Nadler.
You know what's
was it Jerry Nadler?
Jerry Nadler. Jerry Nadler, who can't wear a mask at all, by the way, properly, which is hilarious.
And claims that the Antifa riots are a myth.
Yeah, I mean,
the BLM riots.
First of all, I'm reclaiming my time. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Deep State would agree with me on this. That the Portland riots that have gone on for how many days now? It's like 60-some days now. It's been going on now. Is a complete hoax. It's a complete hoax and a complete myth. Okay, it's not real. And the second wave is killing everybody in America right now. I mean, come on, second wave of COVID is killing everybody. Everybody's dying, right? Right? What's Deep State got?
Jake Paul was peacefully protesting and got swatted today by Trump's feds. Please speak out about this.
Oh, peaceful. Absolutely peaceful.
And why do I care about Jake Paul?
I no say, bro.
Oh yeah, he's got a YouTube channel.
Oh.
Yeah, still don't care.
And I don't care. I'm reclaiming my time, okay? It's going to be all show, bro.
I know.
I told you I could weave this into the deal, man. We've got too many topics. We're going to try to pepper these in. This is going to be shotgun Plausible Foolishness today. And I didn't say this at the beginning. If you're not following this right now, head over to Plausible Foolishness. Head over to twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. If you really like us, give us that subscribe. If you guys are Amazon Prime customers, you're able to give absolutely free subscribes that help us get the green screen that you're looking at right now. And we're going to be doing streaming. Go ahead, bro.
Also, if you don't want to give Twitch your money anymore, plausiblefoolishness.locals.com is up and running.
Yep.
Waiting for your donations. We have it set at $5, which is actually $1 cheaper than if you were to pay for a Twitch subscription.
Listen, Locals is not a dating app. It's not a dating app.
Not.
It made me a little nervous. It is what it is, but it is not a dating app. I promise you, man. So, but who's to say? Who's to say? You know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Yes, sir.
They might get caught up in the craziness. So, first of all, we got to talk about a few things.
Tree Climber says Nadler looks like Penguin from the Batman movie. It's true.
He does look like Penguin. He does look like Penguin, man. He's got that Penguin vibe. You know what I mean? Which is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So here's the deal.
These pathetic power plays.
So speaking of absolute insanity, the reason why we kept saying reclaiming my time, because Jesus is coming back. It is what it is. Jesus is coming back, and he's coming back with a vengeance, and he's coming soon. We had the pandemic, which, is ironic no one's talking about, by the way. It's amazing how crickets and quiet COVID-19 has gotten.
The only thing I can say is that in Osceola County, Florida, now they've reinstituted a fine. It's only $25 as compared to the $500 that lasted 2 days.
Yeah,
but they're still trying to ram it down our throats.
Yeah,
but
you can
who
wipe
cares?
my butt. But here's the thing:
exactly.
you go to any store right now. Where was I at the other day?
Well, yeah, all the grocery stores are mandating it, but not really. Not if you.
But not even close.
Yeah.
Like I walked into what is it? The Fresca, which is like the Spanish one.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say a word. I was in Chipotle, ordered my entire order. They didn't say
even
a word.
with the signs.
Yeah, bro. I mean, they're not going to get after me. I'm a black guy.
That's true.
I'm just going to say, Black Lives Matter! And they'll leave me alone, bro. Because it's that white privilege that we're going to talk about later on in the show with Oprah. You know what I mean? So, I am an oppressed black man. I mean, my oppression kept me from the things that I did in my life. It prevented me from graduating high school, graduating college, getting my master's degree, marrying a smoking hot wife, having 3 beautiful kids, It stopped me from being an All-American athlete, a national champion. I mean, the white oppression kept me from the Hall of Fame of my college that I went to in January. Dude, I don't even know what to do.
Running your own business.
It stopped me from running my own business. It stopped me from getting a very, very good job. That in the middle of a recession, by the way, in the middle of a freaking recession, praise God, it stopped me from getting a house. I got a house too, by the way, bro.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
That is awesome.
Did I send you the address?
No, Sam showed it to me.
Did you see the pool?
Yeah,
Did you see the pool?
I saw the pool.
I walked in and I said, "Screw the rest of this. It's about the pool, man."
And here's what I said to myself when
What's
I
up?
saw the pool.
What'd you say?
I want a pool too, but I really would rather if Ray didn't have a pool.
Why?
Because of envy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No. Listen, you're invited over.
Of course, yeah.
But I told my wife that you were pushing a weight room on me really bad. I was like, listen, I'm like,
Yeah, that's gotta
just...
stop being number 3 and go and move to at least number 2,
so
preferably number 1.
So racial oppression has stopped me from buying a nice home. It stopped me from having a pool. It has stopped me from hitting a lot of the goals that I wanted to hit in my life. I mean, racial oppression's everywhere.
You know what?
You know?
You haven't hit 600 yet.
What?
You haven't hit 600 on that bench because of Whitey.
Yeah, the Whitey. Whitey has kept me from benching 600 pounds, man. I mean, my lowly 552-pound bench press right now is because of the white man. I'm oppressed.
It's sickening.
It's disgusting. I reclaim my time. But no, I mean, this is what's amazing. In America, only in a recession or a quote unquote recession. We're not even really in a recession. Let's get real. If you pay attention to any of
we're in an oppression.
In an oppression.
We're in an economic oppression.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. I mean, because long story short, there's still people that are out of work right now.
That should have been the name of the episode.
We're in an oppression. Save it for next week, bro.
Yeah, I will.
But in the middle of a pandemic, even though most major corporations are kicking some serious butt and so on and so forth, Bobby the Bull, forever in Michigan, we'll let you know, man.
Yeah.
Where are you from in Michigan, bro? Where are you from? I know my Michigan hand signals, man. But yeah, I mean, like that's what's crazy is like in the middle of all this, God's good, man. God's in control. God is doing and blessing and so on and so forth. But here's the crazy thing: with all that happening, we have a pandemic going on where people literally in Melbourne. I don't know if you saw this or not, but the city of Melbourne in Australia has literally locked down their city and even what we had in America was very oppressive. This is insane. They're not allowed to leave farther than 3 kilometers from their home. Jeez. Only one person from the family can go to the grocery store at the time. Their curfew is from 8 o'clock at night to 5 in the morning.
Jeez.
You're only allowed 1 hour a day to leave your home. Okay? And what's funny is
so you got to get everything done in that hour?
Yes, literally. And you're literally a prisoner in your home. A prisoner in your home in Melbourne, Australia right now. And what's amazing...
Oh, okay, so this is in Australia.
This is in Australia.
I thought you were talking about Melbourne, Florida.
No.
I did not hear about this.
If this happened in Melbourne, Florida, all them hillbillies would be... they wouldn't even have a chance. But you know what's funny is, even as draconian as they've been, as oppressive as they've been, okay? So were you in Detroit? Detroit City, brother?
He was born in Detroit, lives in Waterford, an hour or so from the Canadian border.
Oh, bro, I used to go up... I'm going to out myself on the live feed. I used to go up I-75... when I was 19, and you know why I was going to Canada. Let's get real. I'll own it. It is what it is. The drinking age is 19 in Canada. Sorry, man. I just wanted to party with the Canucks.
Molson's or...
Get some Molson, some Labatt, some freaking Crown. That's like the best. Dude, Canadians know how to do it, man. In certain ways, except for Justin Trudeau. Blackface. But anyways, what were we talking about? I completely lost track of that. But
Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne, Australia is completely locked down. You know what's funny? Is the citizens can't do anything about it. You know why? They have super strict gun laws in Australia. Crazy. Remember, after every school shooting, every single time we have a school shooting, we are told that we need to have Australia's gun laws. You know what's funny?
No thanks.
You know what's funny now? What's amazing is this oppression is happening to people. They can't fight back. You know why they don't pull this crap in America? Because we have guns and we can tell people to piss off like we're doing right now.
How many people have we seen who are like, I never owned a gun ever, but these riots,
yeah,
the being forced to stay home,
yeah,
all this craziness,
yeah,
gone out and bought my first gun.
100%.
And it's like, yeah, this is what we were talking about.
We were warning you. We told you this a long time ago, you know?
We can see, like, how can you not see past the nose on your face? You know? How can you not look into the future and see how this could be a problem, people?
Well, because if you don't follow God, you're a fool. The fool says in his heart there is no God. How do you have understanding? How do you have foresight without God? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You don't have a vision of sin.
yeah,
I'm
that's
not
true.
saying that every conservative is a follower of Christ.
No.
What's funny is a lot of actual followers of Christ, not these woke church softies that have bent the knee to BLM Marxism or the biggest fraud perpetrated in America, which is this pandemic. But the actual people who follow Christ can see through this crap. And they're standing up. You got John freaking MacArthur, love him or hate him, out in California telling California, go kick rocks. We're going to sing in church. And guess what? My church opens up in 2 weeks. I'm going to sing in church with my mask off. Right? It just is what it is.
Sure. Well, it's like we said several weeks ago, you know? If you go to a church that is complying with those orders, you're going to the wrong church.
100%. So, but that's the thing. It's like, it's amazing, these draconian bullcrap that's going on all around us, and especially in countries that have no gun laws, they get away with this stuff. They can be oppressive because there's no one to stop them. There's no one to stand up. They will come to your door if they know you don't have any weapons. Period. They're not going to do that in America. It's a totally different world. But trust me, they've tried. This is the biggest crap test. We've said this before on the show of all time with this pandemic. But you know what's funny is no one's talking about it right now. You know why? Because the numbers have completely evaporated. Where's the deaths? Where are the bodies from the second wave? Where are the bodies?
Oh, I mean,
Where'd they go?
Cuomo and his ilk already decimated the nursing home, so there's nowhere else for them.
Yeah, you know what's amazing is Florida allegedly has the same number of COVID-19 infections as Florida or as New York, with a percentage of the deaths. A percentage.
Yeah.
But you know what's amazing is we all know those numbers are bullcrap anyways.
Yeah.
But but they're propping up Cuomo. They're propping up De Blasio as these amazing dudes that did this amazing job in New York when they killed a bunch of old people. They basically just they're like, "Oh, see you later, old people. Gone."
Trump can't win again, so.
Yep. See you later. We're trying to because let's get real.
For the greater good.
Yeah, it's for the greater good.
For the greater good.
We want to keep New York blue. We're gonna get rid of all the old people that are a little bit wiser, a little bit smarter, right? I mean, let's get real. That's what it was. That's what the play was. Well, we don't want to say that. That's a conspiracy theory. Give me some X-Files, man. It's not like they killed 600.
How dare you!
Oh gosh! Where'd she come from, man?
You know where she comes from.
Dude, she comes from everywhere, man. Blowed me up. I'm sorry, did I do that?
She comes from hell.
She comes from Hades. But yeah, I mean, so we've got the pandemic. We got the world compliant with this stupidity. Beautiful thing is, I don't know if you saw in Germany. Germany kind of rose up. There was like 1 million people in Berlin that basically told Angela Merkel to go kick rocks with this craziness. Completely said, you know, screw this, man. Which is crazy, right?
Awesome.
So a lot of people are waking up. And what's funny is this. Oh, back to the Melbourne thing. You know why that they put this lockdown? You know how many total deaths they have in Melbourne from COVID-19?
I don't know. Like 10,000?
7. They had
7,000.
No.
700,000.
No.
700?
No.
Not 7 million.
Melbourne deaths, all of which were all over the age of 65. So they locked down Melbourne for 7 deaths.
Just 7. Just like 7 and no zeros.
They had 7 deaths, which was their quote-unquote spike of deaths. And that's what they did.
That's... like, okay.
Welcome from the land down under.
I mean...
Get a Vegemite sandwich, brother. You're going to be at home for a very long time.
That's ludicrous, man.
6 weeks. 6 weeks of this lockdown.
6 weeks they're doing that?
6 weeks for 7 65-plus-year-old people.
They were all 65 plus.
Yes. 7.
This is insane.
You know what's even more insane? The headlines from Beirut. Good old Beirut, Lebanon. If you're not familiar where Lebanon is, look where Israel is. Go north. That is good old Lebanon, which is the home of Hezbollah. You know those guys that sneak down the Mediterranean Sea and hang out in Palestine and shoot bombs over to Israel. But really, really sad situation that went down in Beirut. The official story, the official story yesterday, which is crazy, was a fireworks factory just blew up. Now, if you can see in the green screen, if you can see what's going on, the absolute devastation, and if you did not see the bomb that went off, and it's a bomb, and if you try to tell me that I'm conspiracy theory, like, look at that. That was a huge freestanding building, and that bomb, gone. Anyways, if you saw any of the footage for this yesterday, there were so many different angles from the people of Dubai. Now, this pricks the strong one's heart a little bit because my former business partner, who lives in Dubai now, her whole family's from Beirut, Lebanon. And I immediately hit her up afterwards and said, hey, listen, man, I want to make sure your family's good. You know, she's a follower of Christ, praise God. And her family was safe. They live about 10 miles outside of Beirut. But they heard the first bomb go off, and they said it terrified them. And that's when everybody kind of panned their cameras towards this dock area right on the coast there in Beirut. And a couple minutes after this first bomb, a second, let me say this nicely, the first explosion went off. Then a second explosion that ironically looked like a bomb had a mushroom cloud, completely incinerated buildings all around it, leaving literally 300,000 people homeless, I think 70 plus dead there in Beirut. Was insane.
300,000 homeless
Gone.
overnight.
See you later. Don't have a home.
That's brutal.
Insane.
That's brutal just for the city, you know?
Yep.
Like, I mean, that's San Francisco levels.
Yep.
That was a little joke, but...
Hey, listen, I feel you, bro. I was picking up what you're laying down, man. It's all good. Little LA numbers, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Beirut. Welcome to San Francisco.
Yeah, I know.
And look, it looks exactly like downtown San Francisco. No, just kidding. It's not that bad. It's just worse.
No, yeah. There's no needles here.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
There's no nothing. It's been obliterated. That's,
But, dude...
but it was a fireworks factory.
Dude, see if you can pull up a video of the explosion for the viewer if they have not seen it, man. Go to YouTube. They definitely have it. But yeah, I mean, what's insane is this explosion, which was funny because when it first came out, it was said that it was, dude, that's crazy. It was a 3.3 on the Richter scale. Yeah, I mean, like my business owner's family said they could feel the explosion from 10 miles out, which is insane. See if they can show the ocean view is the craziest view of that. See if that one right there.
This one?
Yeah, no, down one more. I think it gives all the angles. That's a good one. Dude, that's insane. So watch this. Watch the building, this white building right in the middle. Right after this thing.
That was the skeleton that we saw earlier.
Yes. Watch this thing. Bye. Insane. 3.3 on the Richter scale. 70 people dead in an instant. 300,000 people homeless. The airport, which was 6 miles away, takes damage. And what's amazing, look at that. Oh, it's just a fireworks factory that exploded, nothing to see here. And that's the official reporting they said. They said, oh, fireworks factory. Let's see. See if the ocean comes up. Oh yeah, that's a fireworks factory. You see that? Don't the bombs do that? That one. That was insane. Watch the car shake. I think it's the sound process. Bro. Dude. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, so much destruction. Yeah, 80 plus dead. That's insane, man.
4,000 injured so far.
That's crazy, man. But
actually, now it's 100 so far reported, according to this article.
Jeez.
4,000 injured so far.
So, if you're a follower of Christ...
at least 10 firefighters who raced to tackle the blast, their initial blast, are still missing.
But here's what's fishy about the whole situation, and hold that up because this is what I was telling my wife. When I first saw the video, first thing it is, I called my buddy that lives in Dubai, but her family's in Lebanon. They're all good. But when you ever see a two-tier bomb, like a two-tier explosion, especially like that, it's usually terrorists. Like, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Kingdom. Have you ever seen The Kingdom?
Mm-mm.
It explains like terrorist bombings really well. What terrorist bombings do is like the first bomb that goes off is usually a smaller one, and it draws people in. It draws the first responders because you want to rush to the scene to help people and so on and so forth. It's the second bomb that goes off, especially in the Middle East, and nobody talks about this. That's usually the most devastating. And what's terrifying about this is, as we progress down the road of technology, everybody and their brother, especially in these countries now, which Beirut is supposed to be the French Riviera of the Middle East, but it's still it's still a country that's super undeveloped, blah blah blah, whatever. But everybody has a smartphone now. You know what I mean? Like in Afghanistan, like not everybody had a freaking smartphone, so you couldn't see the bombings, you can see the attacks, you can see the stuff in real life. Now you're seeing how many angles did we just get from yesterday? That was like 10 different angles of the same explosion.
Yeah.
But you're seeing like terrorist tactics 101. And people are going to say I'm a conspiracy theorist. This is not conspiracy. Talk to anybody who's worked in intel with terrorists. They do two-tier bombs. It's one to sound the alarm, to get people to rush in to save lives. Then they set off the second one, which is way worse, which causes more casualties and more death. And even in the article, you got 10 firefighters missing because guess what they're going to do? When a bomb goes off, if you're a first responder, what are you going to do? You're the first to respond. Then you have a second bomb go off. Give me a break. And what's crazy about this entire story is the first thing they tried to do was pass this off as a fireworks explosion.
Yeah, there's a warehouse where they store fireworks.
But that's the crazy thing about the video, is you could see the fireworks going off after the first explosion. I don't know if you saw the one angle where it's like, pop, 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 pop. These are fireworks. Fireworks don't disintegrate buildings.
Yeah.
Like, give me a break, man.
And even if they're all together, it would have been a big explosion, but that is on another level.
Oh, yeah. But what's crazy is this. This is what's insane. It's insane. Is the official story immediately is, oh, a fireworks factory exploded and that's what happened. Bull crap. And Trump...
and why would they hide it? Why would they hide that?
It's a great question. Because when they asked Trump, what was it yesterday? They asked him, and he's like, yeah, I saw a bomb go off. And they're like, well, how do you know it was a bomb? How do you know it was a bomb? Right? And they started questioning, blah, blah, blah. He's like, it looked like a bomb to me. Anybody with a rational thought process can look at that and see a bomb.
That was very irresponsible of the president, because the president's super irresponsible, and he's irresponsible. So we need to know that he's an irresponsible leader, and the president is irresponsible.
Yeah.
Thank you. Live from CNN. I'm a douchebag.
Yeah. No, the deep state. It was a controlled demolition with a, get out of here, man.
Methodical small explosions.
Yeah, that's weird. Just like Building 7, that's kind of weird. But anyways, weird. But no, I mean this is what's insane about this is the reason why this is tragic is one, you got 100 people that die in an instant for no reason. Okay, you got 4,000 people hurt badly. You got 300,000 people homeless in an instant. And what's crazy is right now as we speak, Dubai is burning. As we speak, Dubai is burning. Like, here's what's amazing is you got a dock, the primary dock that brings in all the supplies to... Well, go ahead.
Move over.
Oh, yeah. So, whoa, sorry, man. So that's Dubai. It's where one of my buddies lives. And it's burning right now. So you got... Dude, insane. Oh, that's Australia. That's Australia's fullest fires, man. That's what Australia looks like in Melbourne. Maybe if they set fires in Melbourne.
Yeah. So there's a market in Ajman, which is not too far from Dubai. It's just a giant fire right now.
Yeah. Like, and what's funny is, so Beirut has strong ties to the West, to France, to whatever. Dubai, United Air, the AEU has strong ties to the West. So it's just interesting to me that these things are happening, and I don't think that any of these things are coincidences. I don't think that at all. I think that there's some crazy things that are going on right now. Hey, flash sale, bro! You gotta get your flash sale on, man.
Who told them to do that? That's weird.
Yeah. Hey, man, listen, dude. New York Post wants to sell you some stuff, man. But this is what's insane, man. Is all this stuff is happening. There's another thing too. This is a little bit more tinfoily, but I'll go there because I ain't scared. Okay. Allegedly, there was 2 on the same day, yesterday. There were 2 explosions that happened in China and 1 in Iran. Now, we're never going to see Chinese or Iran explosions ever with Western eyes. It's not going to happen because obviously we know what's up with China. China completely controls the feed that's coming out of China, okay? And what's funny is Facebook helps them do that, which is hilarious, by the way. Does anybody realize that Facebook helps China oppress their people?
Facebook, Google. Yeah, they all.
You're complicit. Shocker. That's why they
even
don't.
Twitter.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So you're never even if they did or did not happen, because again, I can't allege.
Well, did you
whatever.
see what? Did you see? You know, when it was certain that TikTok was going to get banned, right?
Yes.
Now Microsoft is going to.
Oh, that's better.
Is going to buy TikTok.
So much better.
So Bill Gates' company runs to the rescue. Oh, China, don't worry. We'll buy it so that you can keep surveilling American citizens.
But what's funny is
now again,
all of them are surveilling us.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, China is a huge threat.
Oh, of course.
China is a phenomenal threat.
We're in a Cold War with China right now.
Big time.
We're in a Cold War with China.
and they're looking to, I think, escalate it.
Yeah.
You know,
they'd love to.
I forget who it was. I think it was. I can't remember who it was, but somebody posted in their Discord a PBS documentary on China that was actually pretty eye-opening. It was pretty good. It was not. My initial reaction to a PBS documentary on China was like, "Oh, look how great China is."
Yeah.
But it really wasn't.
Really.
It wasn't.
PBS.
Yeah. They laid out what I mean. They could have been harsher, but they still laid out what was going on. They talked about the social credit scoring and how like it can affect the price of taking a bus.
Yep.
You got a low score, it costs more for you to take the bus.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
You know, it's disgusting.
Your ability to buy a home.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Which is
insane. And they went into they basically said that Xi Jinping is the second coming of Mao.
Yep.
Like every I mean, they've had dictators all through.
Sure.
They're all dictators.
Yep.
But the dictators have been in between Mao and Xi Jinping have been much more democratizing.
Sure.
And willing to their goal was to build in the background to quietly.
Yep.
And Xi Jinping's like, no, we're done with that.
Yep.
We're going full. We want the world to come to China for their goods.
Yep.
And we're just gonna freaking spy on it. I mean, that was the whole deal with Huawei.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like, and this was a storyline. My wife and I are watching A Person of Interest.
Okay.
Great show. Freaking scary as hell. And probably extremely accurate. I mean, but there was a whole episode where they reveal by the end of the episode through the efforts of the main characters that this Chinese company that had been sourcing tech like wireless Wi-Fi tech and stuff
mm-hmm.
to all of the government
mm-hmm.
had been using it to spy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, so that was the whole deal with that. If you heard anything about Huawei,
but Person of Interest is a documentary, right? Isn't it?
Kind of. It's directed. It was created by Jonathan Nolan.
Yeah.
Who is the brother of Christopher Nolan? Who I believe is.
Is he as good as Christopher Nolan?
The show's really good.
Okay.
The show's really good, and he writes a lot of the movies with Christopher too. Yep. So they've done some collaboration in the writing at least.
Yep.
And I think that they're, at least California conservatives.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, this is one of my favorite quotes about Hollywood was from the famous, God rest his soul, and I hope to God he knew Jesus. The storeroom on the street as he did.
Who's this?
Roddy Piper said it best. He asked about They Live, and they said, "What do you think about?" They joked around. And they're like, "So what do you think about the movie you starred in, They Live?" He said, "They Live is a documentary." And that's all he said. And if you haven't seen They Live, make sure you watch that movie. It's phenomenal. But Romina, thanks, Romina. We're going high tech in this place, man. This guy, the mad scientist, brings us to high tech, man, which is great. But what up? Topher's in the house.
Well, what?
Topher, what up, baby? What's up, man? Topher music. I love you, man. Dude, your videos lately have been hilarious about.
For sure.
Have you seen the one of the Breonna Taylor? He's blowing up the Breonna Taylor thing
Mm-hmm.
because that's the funniest thing. Breonna Taylor has become the Michael Brown of 2020. Is like there's so much misconceptions around that,
Mm-hmm.
and all of these racial crazy stories that they've propped up is disappearing, and we're about to talk about that here in a second with George Floyd. But it is amazing how quickly Hollywood is becoming more real life, and real life is becoming more fraudulent as we progress. But I mean, let's get real. I mean, China is everywhere, and what's crazy is this idea that it's better that Microsoft has taken over TikTok or any American company's taken over. It's no better. They're doing
We
the
know
same
that
exact
Bill
thing.
Gates is a friend of China.
Yeah, they're doing the exact
I mean,
same thing.
this is just WHO 2.0.
Absolutely.
You know?
Romina, we are literally about to talk about Oprah, so sit tight, girl. It's gonna be fun, man.
Oh yeah.
But to Topher's point about taking out Breonna Taylor, let's talk about George Floyd. Let's talk about the George Floyd leaked videos. And I'm reclaiming my time here, and I want to talk about this. Who has seen the leaked body camera video from the police officer in the George Floyd situation?
I've not seen it, but I've seen commentary on it.
So here's what's amazing about this entire debacle that's going on with the George Floyd situation. If you've seen the video, a couple things disappear really, really quickly. Okay? Here's what's crazy. Yeah, a guy who resisted arrest for 10 minutes. Exactly. But here's the first thing, Topher. Here's the first thing that popped out to me. One, the whole racist narrative completely disappears when you watch this video.
Mm-hmm.
Because the entire time, even as this guy is being passive aggressive, George Floyd, who's not really complying at all. Now, he's not being a complete psycho,
Yeah.
but he's not complying at all. They're being incredibly forgiving and giving to this guy. And what's crazy is nobody talks about is there's 3 other people in the car. Not a single one of them are white. They're all black. Did any of those other 3 guys get their knee put on their back and they die? No. They stood on the wall, compliant, had no problems, no arrests, no issues.
Still alive.
Still alive. So this idea that these cops were out hunting, trying to kill black men, completely disappears when you watch this body camera video.
There's 2 more targets right there.
Three,
you know?
there's 3 more
Sorry,
targets.
3 more targets.
3 more targets.
So I mean, that sounds like a good day if you're looking to hunt black people,
I mean, you
right?
got 4 black guys in a car. I mean, you can kill all 4 of them if you're hunting them down. But what's funny is 3 of them were completely, yeah, Topher. I'm not justifying his death, but I'm gonna get to that in a second. I'm gonna get to that, Topher. Don't worry, I'm gonna piss some people off on the show today. Okay? So 3 guys completely compliant. You know, one of the first things out of the virtuous, glorious George Floyd, you know, the same guy that held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, that guy who got a flag of honor at his funeral, which is hilarious, by the way. First thing out of his mouth while he's inside of his vehicle was, "I can't breathe." What? The first thing out of his mouth is, "I can't breathe." But I thought it was the evil cop that put the knee on the back of his neck that killed him, man. I thought that's what killed him. And as you watch the 10 minutes before the 8 minutes, you watch a non-compliant person who is high as Jesus, let's get real, on fentanyl. Because guess what? Remember, that was the conspiracy theory that the cops were making up, that he was high on fentanyl, and that's what showed up in the toxicology report. The dude is completely high. Super low, super emotional, kind of crazy. And the cops are recognizing this and trying their best to work with this guy who's being crazy. And even when they try to put him in the cop car, which is ironic, what was his excuse? I'm claustrophobic. Well, that's weird. You were just driving a car 10 minutes before and you weren't claustrophobic driving high on fentanyl, but now that you have cuffs on, now you're going to be claustrophobic. And not only that, the cops are compliant and allow him to not be in the car. George Floyd, the saint that held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, 8 times arrested, super angelic. Got a funeral, a massive funeral, when people are dying right now during the COVID pandemic, and you can't go to a funeral because you're not in the elite class, or you can't use your funeral to the advantage of the Democratic Party. He gets a packed house. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Literally tells the officer, I'd rather lay on the ground than be in the car. Oh, okay. And numerous times they're trying to tell the guy, chill out, relax, chill out, relax. And that's when the knee goes down. Now, let me tell you this from a very, 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 very honest deepfake creator. Deep State says it was deep fake. It was a deep fake. It's a deep fake. Now, here's what's crazy. Does it justify putting a knee on the back of somebody to subdue him? No. Not at all. But it gives a heck of a lot of context when you see the entire film in its totality.
Yep.
You see 3 other black men compliant with the law. They don't die, and you don't even know their names. In fact, you didn't even know there were 3 other people in that car.
No, you didn't.
You didn't know that. Crazy. Then you've got a guy who's high on fentanyl, lethal levels of fentanyl and methamphetamine in his system. So he's high, driving a car. The cops are compliant with him. They do draw a gun on him until they had to draw a gun on him to get him to calm down. I don't know if you saw that in the video. They did have to draw a weapon on him. And then they put the weapon away, by the way, which nobody talks about either. So he's being passive-aggressive, not complying. They got to draw a weapon on him. He's
freaking out.
Because he's freaking out, because he's high on drugs. He finally realizes the craziness of the situation, calms down. They put the weapon away, put the cuffs on the guy in a very compliant way, helping the guy out, try to get him in the back of a cop car. He resists that passive-aggressively. Now, he wasn't kicking, screaming, or whatever, but he was not complying at all. Then when they try to get him in the cop car, literally says, hey, I'm claustrophobic. Even though I was just driving a car in the same amount of space, I'm claustrophobic. I'd rather lay on the ground. And as this is going on, don't keep in mind, these cops that were trying to kill black men left 3 black men alone, arrested 1 black man, and called the ambulance for the black man. That's crazy.
It's like they knew that they were going to kill him.
Now, here's what's even crazier. One of those cops that are arrested right now for first-degree murder, by the way, the DA labeled this as first-degree murder.
So it was 3rd degree, right?
No,
and then they bumped it up to 2nd.
Yes, they bumped it up to see. It originally was manslaughter, and they bumped it up to first-degree murder, which literally means you have to be premeditated. By the way, go ahead.
I thought it was 2nd degree.
I'm not sure. It went from manslaughter to I believe it was first-degree murder.
I don't think it was first, because first is premeditated. I think it was.
No, it was the premeditated, bro. They bumped it to a premeditation. That's what's crazy about the DA.
Okay.
Well, fact check us later on this, okay?
Yeah.
But long story short,
I'll look it up.
These guys who have some type of premeditation, allegedly, and they want to kill black guys, performs freaking CPR on the guy in the freaking ambulance. Oh, they're trying to resuscitate him. So if you're trying to kill George Floyd, if you are trying to kill a black man, why in the world do you leave 3 alone that complied? And then, why would you keep your body cam on so that people can see that you're trying to help this guy out and you're trying to give the guy CPR to keep him alive? And then the district attorney, what did he do?
It was the Attorney General, Keith Ellison, who is an Antifa activist.
Okay.
Upgraded the charge against Derek Chauvin to 2nd degree murder.
Which is still premeditation, right?
Well, it's like...
what is it? It's like in the heat of the battle, right? Is that the heat of the battle?
Something like, yeah.
So
it was 3rd degree murder, which is,
manslaughter, right?
Essentially.
Okay. Which is viable. That could have held up in court.
Yeah.
But 2nd degree's not going to hold up? Go ahead, sorry.
So, yeah, 2nd degree murder conviction in Minnesota carries a maximum sentence of 40 years. the aiding and abetting, which would the other guys are charged with,
Yep.
would carry the same potential
So these
sentence.
guys are completely out, dude. I mean, they're going to walk. They will walk from this. They're going to walk.
But you know what? I mean, that's probably premeditated too.
Yeah,
because they want them
riot.
to walk so that they can continue the grievance.
Riots, yeah, they want the riots, which is stupid. And we said that at the beginning. I remember you talking about that they wanted this to happen. But this is what's insane. Is based on that film, based on that camera, if you're a lawyer, you completely can dissect this entire case. You can dissect it. And guess what? You put a panel of jurors together, there's no way that a panel of jurors are going to say that this was a second-degree murder. They may say manslaughter. If they would have said manslaughter or third degree, guess what? This would have stood up. But it's not going to. It will literally fall apart, which is probably what they want anyways. And guess what? You got more riots in Minnesota, which is crazy because they're trying to defund the police. So how much worse is that going to be? So if I'm living in Minnesota, would I even live there right now? Would I want to be there when that drops?
No way.
Get out of here. I'm gone. I'm in the country with my 30-06, man. I'm good. You're not coming to my property. You know what I mean? But this is what's amazing. What a bunch of marks. I like that. First of all, the fact that you used a wrestling reference, Warrior, amazing. Anyways, but that's what I'm trying to get at.
You think he's the ultimate warrior?
I would think I would think so. Nice. But this is what's crazy.
That's a good point. KG says, "What's left to loot and burn, though?"
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, it's a good question. I'm
Yeah.
sure they can do more. But anyways, that's what's amazing to me. I find it very, very, very interesting. Okay? Which is crazy. Thanks, Topher. But Kyle Steve, my man. Kyle Steve. It's even better than the Ultimate Warrior. That's our dude. But this is what's amazing is we're watching George Floyd, we're watching the actual camera footage. How much different does the narrative look if that body cam footage was actually presented in the first place? How much different does that situation look? Do you think there's riots at that point? Do you think the narrative that everybody fell for, and I hate to break it to you, the woke church, the alleged followers of Christ that were like, oh, a clear racist death. I heard pastors say that. Oh, it was a clear racist death. With racist intent.
Yep. It's always good to make broad sweeping statements when you've got almost no facts.
No information. But that is what's amazing. Is this ages poorly after watching this. This idea that they were out to get somebody and kill somebody is crazy. This idea that, he put his knee on the neck and that's what killed him. You are high if you think this. After watching this video, you could clearly tell this guy is on some crazy stuff. Meth and fentanyl, which is going to kill you. Crazy people take that to get high. And he was driving. That's what's blowing me away. He's the driver, okay? But 3 black men walk away completely fine. And 1 dies. Now, should he have died? Never by the hands of the police.
It's always sad when
it's always
somebody
sad. And never by the hands of the police. But
Sure.
based on this video, how are you going to put the blame on the police for his death? When you
Yeah.
have a toxicology showing he has lethal levels of fentanyl in his system. You're seeing that he's high. You're seeing that he's essentially non-compliant because he's going crazy. He's having these high emotional situations. He's having the crash that happens when you take meth and fentanyl. You're seeing it happen right before you. You're seeing the guy say, I couldn't breathe before he ever stepped out of the freaking vehicle. Give me a break.
Like, should procedure change on
Yes, I agree
putting
with
the
that.
knee on the neck? Yes,
I agree with that.
Absolutely. Should they be reprimanded for that?
Sure.
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 Should they get 40 years in prison?
Not even close.
No.
Not for that.
Absolutely not.
Not for that.
Not
And
anymore.
there's no jury. There's no jury, no matter how crooked and left, are going to throw those cops in jail for 40 years. Not going to happen. The guy that knee on the neck, he might go to jail for a little bit of time, but those other 3...
Remember,
no
the
way.
Attorney General is Keith Ellison, so...
Dude. I mean, the problem is this, that will appeal all the way to the highest levels. And at the end of the day, if you're going to look at that video and say that there was premeditation of any sort in that
that's true.
situation, there's no premeditation in this death.
Yeah.
They're trying to comply with it. They're trying to help the guy out. You can see it happening the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it sad that he died? Absolutely. Even though he is a guy who, terrorized the black community, robbed a bunch of people, went to jail 8 times, put a gun to a freaking pregnant woman's stomach. Get it?
Was high on fentanyl and driving.
Was high on fentanyl and was driving. Okay? I get it. I get where that's coming from. But the racist cop narrative that you've burnt down multiple cities for, 35 people have died in Black Lives Matter riots, by the way. 35? That's more than what cops have killed this year, by the way. Go ahead.
Do you see what Louderworth Crowder is doing?
What do you do?
They made a shirt that has David Dorn's face on it. It's actually pretty cool, with a cool design around it.
Okay.
And all proceeds from the shirt are going to his family.
Man. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But, dude, this is what's crazy. Oh, yeah, I saw that article, too, by the way, that George Floyd had COVID-19 in his system when he died. So they might label that as a COVID death. But, yeah, the Crowder shirt. But yeah, I mean, let's get real. You got real American heroes like David Dorn who died because people took this death completely out of context.
Well, because they
think about this.
I mean, this is what journalism is today.
It is.
Get there first. Be as salacious as possible to get those ratings.
Yep.
And if we can push a leftist narrative, an agenda, all the better.
Yep.
They don't care that the cities have burned. You know why? Because they don't live in those cities.
Nope, they don't. They don't care.
They live in their penthouses.
Palatial mansions and penthouses. But dude, let's think about
Not all
this.
of them, obviously.
I know. But they all live in L.A. and they live in L.A., New York, D.C.
Yep.
And San Francisco.
And there may be some rioting in those places, but not where they live.
Nope. They don't care. They don't care. But 35 people have died as a result of this. How many of those lives would have been saved if we would have waited and got all of the facts before we jumped into this? But you know what? It's all good, because guess what? The beautiful thing about this situation is God is ultimately in control. There was a big spike in Black Lives Matter support, and that is fading and evaporating really fast. Most of the support is completely dissipated because guess what? They showed their hand. They've shown that they're a Marxist group, and they latched onto this incident to further their agenda. And that's going to backfire. It will. It always does. It's how it works. Because people are waking up to Black Lives Matter. Because people love Black lives. They're not about the organization that's Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm,
There's not.
And they're not about the narrative.
They're not.
They're not about the narrative that the police are an army hunting down citizens of this country whose skin happens to be darker.
But honest to God, like, who believes the headline anymore? I mean, after the Covington kids, I mean, he's the highest paid CNN employee right now, 25
and
mil.
Washington Post, right?
Washington Post, he's the highest paid Washington Post guy. Good for that kid. But it sucks because we just took something completely out of... We've taken something, completely taken it to a completely different level, which is crazy.
Oh, yeah, 100%. The movement isn't even about Black lives.
It's
about the narrative of the police. And they'll say it, they say that as a defense.
Yep.
No, we're talking about police brutality right now. And it's a problem that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Because 9 people died last year.
9 people. Unarmed people in, what was it?
We'll get to those other things, like, the hundreds and the hundreds and hundreds that
7 of which
die.
were justified, by the way. 7 of the 9 were justified. 2 were unjustified. And in the cases where there were 2 unarmed black men that died in an unjust manner, the cops are in jail right now.
Yeah, so that's more of a problem. About? That's more of a problem deserving of widespread protests and riots than, the hundreds that die in the streets of Chicago from members of their own community.
Well, I was told online that if you...
Not to mention, don't even get me started about the abortions.
Oh, yeah. I was told today online that if you're not from Chicago and you're a conservative, you cannot speak about Chicago. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. Because you're not doing anything to help. I'm like, well, that's weird because I don't live there on purpose because I don't want to be in that psycho place. And 2, 1, stop voting for Democrats that allow this bullcrap to happen. Mm-hmm. And 2, if it's that bad, leave. But you keep putting yourself in that position.
And 3, this is America and I can say whatever the heck I want.
Amen. So Rashad Brooks, it's magically that disappeared. That went away like the second wave of Corona. Mm-hmm. No one's talking about that anymore because,
the Wendy's still got burned down.
The Wendy's got burned down.
So that's a win.
Wendy's got burnt down.
Good job.
And the other thing with the Rashad Brooks is the problem is there's too much video on that. You can't look at that video and say, "Oh, those cops were just being racist," because the build-up before is they're being nice and cordial.
Exactly
and
the same thing as the George Floyd video.
Exactly. They're doing what cops are supposed to do, which is respectful, cordial. We're just trying to enforce the law, and you freak out and tackle our guys, grab a taser and turn around and try to shoot us with it.
Sorry,
I don't feel bad. You gonna die. Crazy. But you just don't.
And you know what? And you know what?
I've been pulled over by police.
And you know what?
And I'm a black man. I'm polite, and I usually get out of the ticket. It's weird. It's so weird when you do that. I love the graphics in the background, and I feel like I'm really part of a production right now. I feel like I'm part of like something amazing, and the only reason we can do that is because you guys are contributing, and we appreciate you so much for doing that. By the way, sorry. Go back to Rashad.
No, but you were saying, I don't care. You know what? They actually do care. They're probably pretty torn up afterwards.
Yeah.
Because
nobody likes. Listen, we were saying it before the show. I've been in fights. You never feel good about hurting someone. Let me repeat that. You never feel good about hurting someone. Okay. The only time and context that I enjoyed inflicting pain on someone, to be fair, was playing football. I love smashing people. But it was within the context of the rules.
That's the competitive. So that's where the boxing and the MMA comes in.
All right,
yeah.
to be fair. But in actual fights, when I was a bouncer, I did not like beating people up. I did not like ripping two chicks away from each other, scratching each other, and honestly having to body slam one to stop her and remove her from the building. I didn't like throwing out LeBron James's mom. That's a true story, by the way. Did I ever tell you that?
I think you did.
Okay.
Yes.
I threw LeBron James's mom out of because she's a drunk. Nobody talks about that, but that's another story for another time. But yeah, I'd throw her out of my bar. That was hilarious. Don't you know who I am? I'm LeBron's mom. Okay, cool. Just get out. Thank you. You're drunk. You're drunk. You're drunk.
Deep State, please disregard all reports that crime in Minneapolis and New York City is going up.
Yeah, disregard that because we're defunding the police. We're literally defunding the police. And what's funny is people are like, well, what does that even mean? I mean, if we defund them, that the police need more training. They need more training to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen. But, hey man, you made your bed. You've made your bed. Like, what is it? New York, like, I think, like, everybody's leaving New York City right now because of COVID and because of the defunding
the
stuff.
riots.
Nobody wants to live in New York City. I'd leave there too.
De Blasio is more concerned about painting BLM on the street than he is in front of Trump's tower to show him.
Take it, bro. Now, here's what's crazy:
it's always the pathetic power play.
It is. It's
so pathetic.
And yeah, it's just dumb. And
we painted Black Lives Matter in front of Trump because he hates black people. Ha! Got you.
That NAACP.
And then everybody's just sitting around going like,
crime
who
is
cares?
Up 180% in New York City.
What?
So weird, man. So weird. I prefer barbecue. What? Vegan? Deep State? Yeah, he would be a vegan. Deep State would be a vegan. But
yeah, he would be.
Speaking of the narrative, Oprah, your girl Oprah.
Oh yeah.
Man, she had some fun things to say.
She is awesome.
I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time.
It's my time, sir.
My time. Oh, gotta get Oprah. Man, she looks so oppressed in that picture.
Oh yeah.
Man, white man has really held her down in this picture, bro.
Billionaire media maven Oprah.
Maven?
Yes.
Wow, they really
encourages white people to admit that they are racist in bizarre video.
Oh my gosh.
So, wow. Oprah Winfrey said on video that white privilege and whiteness give white people a leg up over people of color in all situations. Let's read this one.
Romina, let's talk about Oprah. Tell her to give me my money.
In a recent seminar about what it means to be white, thank you, black person, for telling us white people what it means to be white.
Now reverse that. If a white person said that to a black person, uproar, upheaval.
Unless he's on the left, like in the case of the hydroxychloroquine Emmanuel, what's her
yeah,
face?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, some guy tells her to her face that he's more black on the inside than she is.
Yeah.
Because she advises the use of hydroxychloroquine. Because she prescribes medicine as a doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. So the self-made billionaire told white people that they're racist even when they might not realize that they are racist.
Is that
Her
true?
white guests agreed. No, it is not.
You're racist when you don't even know you're racist?
No.
Wow.
In a recent episode of the Oprah Conversation, Winfrey and NFL linebacker Emmanuel Ako?
Yeah, the same guy that got smoked by Terry Crews, or not by Terry Crews, by he's the guy that they brought in on oh shoot, what's that show that Jason Whitlock used to be a part of? Oh, I forget it. But the very non-woke cat, not Terry Crews, I forget his name, but he basically took him to the cleaners, and that's probably why Oprah has him on this show, because he looked really bad on national TV, especially about Black Lives Matter. Because, you know, our boy was like, that's weird, because Black Lives Matter advocates all this stuff that's detrimental to the black community. But so keep going, sorry, brother.
So they spoke to several white guests who admitted their racism during the episode titled Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, Part 1. Winfrey said, there are white people who are not as powerful as the system of white people. The caste system that's been put in place, the caste system. Now this is a self-made billionaire talking about the caste system.
Self-made billionaire.
That's been put in place, but they still, no matter where they are on the rung or the ladder of success, they still have their whiteness. So the poorest white person in America still has their whiteness over Oprah Winfrey, self-made billionaire.
Are you familiar with Happy Days? Sunday, Monday, Happy Days.
Yes.
You know when the show went to the pisser?
When the Fonz rode water skis and jumped over a shark.
That is literally the jump the shark moment, Oprah. Are you kidding me? I'm reclaiming my time. God.
Whites have a leg. So no matter where they are, ladder of success, they still have their whiteness. Okay, whites have a leg up. She insisted. You still have.
Time out. Put that in context. So West Virginia Bob, who has a hole in his freaking home, a hole in the ground of his freaking home, can't afford crap. Sorry, I stopped myself. I edited myself on that one. You know, because Cole's evil, Cole's bad, loses his job.
Yeah.
Has a leg up in America over Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah. Because he still has his whiteness. That's what the term white privilege is. It means that whiteness still gives you an advantage, no matter. It is the fundamental issue. Now first of all, that's not true. I mean, that is what white privilege is supposed to mean, but that's bullcrap.
Yeah, but white privilege is a made-up concept in the first place. It's not even real.
Yeah.
So you're already redefining something that's not real?
It's not real because of the word white in front of it. There are privileges. Everybody has their own sets of privileges and what's the
but
what
here's
the opposite?
Problem. If everybody is unique and special, then nobody is. Because that's the whole point. Because I've heard that argument. Well, everybody has a privilege. Because get rid of the color thing, right?
Well, yeah,
get rid of the color thing. Just get rid of the color thing. Everybody and their brother has quote unquote advantages and disadvantages.
There you go, disadvantages. Yes, of course.
And I have can I
That is undeniable, I would say.
Can I reclaim my time for like a 2-minute story?
Yes, you can reclaim it.
Because
I'll give time goes to the gentleman from Ohio.
I'll give you perfect. I love that you call me the gentleman from Ohio. I love that. Sorry. Ohio! Sorry, I don't even rep Ohio. It's so crappy. But anyways, so here's the thing. So I've heard this argument. Well, aside from color, everybody's born with privilege. Okay, if everybody has privilege, no one has privilege. So I'm going to pick on...
true.
I'm going to pick on the massive...
Well, that's the thing, is that we're all equal in our...
unique way.
In our own unique way. Yeah.
So you're 6'9".
Yes, I am 6'9". So I have a height advantage. I can reach things that other people cannot reach.
So you can dunk. You can dunk on your boy.
No.
What?!
I don't have the ups.
But you can hold your hands up high and block stuff, okay?
Yes. I can,
that would be a perceived advantage.
Yes, it would be an advantage.
I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Hector, who just won the Tampa Pro bodybuilding show in Tampa, Florida over the weekend, okay? Let me give you the privilege that my boy Hector has. He comes from Brazil, tons of poverty, poor, comes to America legally, has no money to his name, works his butt off, and he's 4'5". Let me repeat that. 4'5". The brother works his... Can I say balls on the show?
Sure.
He works his balls off every day. Gives all the glory to Jesus Christ every day. Every other word out of his mouth is Jesus. He is broke as a joke. Goes into his first bodybuilding contest with all the perceived disadvantages. He's 4'5". He's the shortest competitor ever to enter a competitive bodybuilding contest. And not only win, but win the champion of champions. The dude's 4'5". He should not win a bodybuilding contest because he shouldn't have the size. But guess what? The dude's waist is about that big. His quads are about that big on a 4'5" frame. And when he does a lat spread, his freaking wings are out to... He looks like a freaking bat that could fly away. Okay? That's how big his wings are. That is a perceived disadvantage. But guess what? Because of Christ in his life, because of his work ethic, he goes in and does the thing that none of you can do, which is go win a bodybuilding contest, qualify, and he probably is going to go pro. And he's freaking 21. And he's natty. That's what's even more terrifying. Terrifying.
He's natty?
He's natty.
What does that mean?
He's never taken a roid in his life.
Oh, natural. Okay.
Because he's broke as a joke. He's a legal immigrant from Brazil. Comes to America and kicks American ass on one of the most difficult things you can do, which is bodybuilding. The training, the conditioning, all of that. Where the frick is his white privilege? Where is it? But he comes to America, which is the land of frickin' opportunity, and does the thing that 99.9% of us won't, because guess what? You can do that in America. You can't do that in a caste system, Oprah. Yes, I want to punch somebody, but it's not Oprah because I would go to jail for that, okay?
Yeah.
Let's get real. But give me a break. I'm off my seat. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
The thing is, though, that he did have... It's not just a perceived disadvantage. He does have a disadvantage. And yet, he's worked enough so that it doesn't matter.
The dude went from, 100 followers on Instagram to 7,000 in one day. He got a spot on YouTube from a very prestigious news reporter for bodybuilding. The dude's probably going to get to pose at the Arnold Classic, which is the second biggest bodybuilding contest in the world. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because Arnold loves those stories.
Yes, exactly.
He's an immigrant, like Arnold, came over with perceived disadvantages. Disadvantages, didn't have the privilege of being 6'9". Mm-hmm. Okay? Did not have the privilege of being 6'9". Has to freaking jump up on equipment to use it at the gym.
Now, that's the thing, is that we do have our advantages and our disadvantages, but it's all about what we do with them.
100%!
Okay?
None of us are special.
The privileges and the disadvantages may be real, but that doesn't mean that the story is over.
I love you, Hector. Sorry, I had to give Hector love on my show.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so...
Sorry, I had to do it.
No, you're right.
I'm stealing that clip and sending it to him because I'm so fired up right now, bro. By Oprah. Freaking Oprah.
So whites have a leg up. You still have your whiteness. That's what the term white privilege is. It means that whiteness still gives you an advantage no matter. It is the fundamental issue. That's the other thing. It's the fundamental issue. For who?
For who?
For not for the business owners whose businesses have been burned down. That's not the fundamental issue. Not for the business owners who can't who had to shut their business down permanently because of the shutdowns. Not for the people who lost loved ones in nursing homes that were sent COVID patients.
Thanks to Plausible.
You know, only for rich media billionaires is that the fundamental issue. And BLM Antifa activists.
It must be so hard on that huge pile of money to deal with these things.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It must be tough. Must be tough.
So she had white guests that are discussing their own personal come to Jesus moments and admitting that they too might just be racist. Too much toxic masculinity this stream. I need some Gillette.
Gillette. Oh my god.
The worst a man can get.
Gillette they can kick rocks too. I'm sorry. I'm pissed off now. Sorry. Go ahead.
So one man, Seth, told Winfrey that he must be racist because he's never been actively anti-racist. So this is just critical race theory propaganda. That's all this segment is. When you hear that you have to be racist because you've never been actively anti-racist. They're just trying to build a generation of activists just like these BLM Antifa, morons.
What's ironic is the come to Jesus moment, which that's antithetical to Jesus' message, by the way. But whatever. Go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
Well, this is reporting from the Blaze, and come to Jesus is a common phrase. They didn't call it a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah,
the author did.
But the irony's not.
But
missed on me.
for
the
sure.
irony's not missed on me. But keep going. Sorry.
So he's quoted as saying, "You've become woke during this period and realized in that awakening." Oh, so Winfrey asks, "You've become woke during this period. You've become woke." Even Oprah's using this phraseology, and realize that in that awakening that you are racist, right? Oh, gentle, caring Oprah, guiding the poor, foolish, racist white man to salvation.
This is a religion.
It is.
It's a religion.
I just want to know how that happened. He responded by admitting that he's apparently been a racist his whole entire life, but only now does he realize how. Quote, "I was born in the 70s. I was born and raised in Manhattan. I've always considered myself to be liberal. Now I'm not only a friend of people of color, but also an advocate. But this movement over the last month has been powerful. This great awakening has been powerful. This revival has been powerful."
Time out. Rewind. How do you live your entire life and not know something about yourself?
Yeah. Well, see,
we are naturally narcissistic. We are naturally selfish. We are naturally about us. Like the phrase "know thyself" is the most redundant and stupid thing. I think I don't know if it was Plato or Socrates said. And I know the intent is self-awareness, but there's nothing. And most people aren't self-aware, but most people are massively narcissistic. So to say that your entire life, I didn't realize I was a racist. Probably because race never entered your mind. If it doesn't enter your mind or your thought process, like most people that grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, because guess what? We are the generation after civil rights. We were literally trained not to see race. We were trained to treat other people by the content of their character and not by the color of their skin.
And they always talk about...
Now, I'm racist? Kiss my...
They always talk about color blindness being... just equally as racist, and that's total bullcrap.
That
because
doesn't make any sense.
Well, the response is, well, if you don't see color, you don't see me.
But if you see color, then you're racist too.
Exactly, that's true.
But
But I want to focus on the if you don't see color, you don't see me.
Dear God,
nobody who's saying that they're colorblind is saying that they can't tell that you're black. And that they don't know that you're black, and they don't see that you're black. What they're saying is that the fact that you're black impairs our relationship in no way whatsoever.
So
the color of your skin does not get in between.
So which is it?
Our business relationship, our work relationship, our friendship relationship.
So which is it? Do you want to see me as a color, or do you want me to see me as a human being, as a person, as an individual? Which is the opposite of what Marxists want. Marxists do not want individuality. The number one thing that they want is to destroy the individual. Collectivism, and lump people in groups. Crazy.
So he says, I realized that I couldn't be not racist. I realized that I either was a racist or an anti-racist, and I'm not an anti-racist. One woman, this is great, Lisa told Winfrey that she, a Californian, said that even she has unconscious biases that white people have. Oh my gosh, I'm from California, and that makes me better than the rest of the United States, but even I, a superior Californian, have unconscious biases that white people have. Oh.
Time out on the field. I've lived in California. Spoiler alert. It's the most racist place I've ever lived. Period.
And the whole concept of unconscious biases is completely unfounded.
I saw Arabic guys calling black dudes the N-word. I saw black people calling Arabs sand N-words. I watched white people call black people N-words. These hoity-toity people that would vote Democrat. Because Orange Man bad, and he's the racist. But I've heard you say the N-word. What? The joke at UCLA is it is the University of Caucasians in the land of Asians. Is there a racial tone to that? That's the joke. The other joke is, oh, if you're a black person, you're clearly on an athletic team at UCLA. Isn't that racist?
No, that's affirmative action.
No? California, you're a joke again. I've lived in the South. I've lived in the Midwest. And I've lived in California. You know the most consciously aware of race 24 effing freaking 7 is? Californians. You know who the most racist people are? Californians. Those Karens that freak out and say that they're not racist and then say, oh, a black man's assaulting me. It happens in New York City and Los Angeles. Not in Florida. We don't care. It's like a freaking Jimmy Buffett concert. Everywhere I go in Florida, nobody cares. No one cares if I'm black. Maybe that's your subconscious racism. But get off your high horse, California. You suck. I hope you succeed, and we'll let you go. Sorry. I'm a little pissed off today. I'm a little triggered. I'm triggered.
Yeah.
All this liberal logic is making me go insane today. Go. Sorry.
So, the football star, the NFL guy, Acho, whatever, he says, here's what I told my friends with their white children.
Oh, gosh.
Again, thank you.
Please tell us how to raise our children,
Yes,
by the way.
please tell us how to
really
raise our
awesome.
children, Mr. NFL star. He said, you all live in a white cul-de-sac, in a white neighborhood, in a white city, in a white state. Because the overwhelming majority of the population is white?
77% are white. Hey, let's just kill off half the population and we'll make it more.
Is that a problem in Norway or Sweden?
Nope. Well, they would say that it's a problem. Is it a problem that India is primarily made up of Indians? Is it a problem that China is
made up of
Chinese people? Is that a problem? Is that a problem?
No, it's not.
God, I'm sorry.
In a white city, in a white state, if you are not careful, your children will live their whole white life, and at 26, 27, they'll end up being a part of the problem. Because you just let them and allowed them to live a completely white, sheltered, and cultureless life. White people also don't have culture. So, that's another thing. Culture only comes from people of color.
Yep, I got you, bro.
He also added, as a black person, white people, the proverbial phrase of white people, they run America.
Time out, stop. Full stop. 90% of Hollywood that you bitch about, I'm sorry, I had to say the word, you bitch about, are white directors, white actors, white actresses.
And they have a problem with that, too.
They have no culture, even though they're dictating Western culture all over the world. Led Zeppelin, they were all black guys, right? No? Yay?
No.
Nay? I'm sorry. I was listening to a lot of
They
Led
were
Zeppelin.
Satanists.
Huh?
They were
Satanists, too. But so is Hollywood, too.
Yeah,
but
true.
this is what's hilarious about this whole situation. Are you kidding me? So, wait a minute. It's bad to judge another culture, black people, but you're doing the opposite? Really? Really?
Yeah. So,
are they getting on Indians that have never met a white person before? Are they getting on Asian people that have never seen a black person before? But they're crickets, because the NBA is bowing the knee to these guys. Sports media is bowing the knee to this stuff.
Yeah.
It just got reported that the Chinese player mills are massively abusive to the Chinese players that are there. You have Chinese people that are literally castrating, let me repeat this, castrating Muslims to work in slave shops to build LeBron sneakers.
Yep, the Uyghurs.
But they're not the problems. You are Betty Lou. You are Ken and Barbie in white whatever.
Yep.
Dude, sorry, I'm getting pissed.
So
why did you read this article?
Because
why are you trying to piss me off?
We need to know that these people think this way.
Oh my gosh.
So
Anyway.
so he goes on to say, as a black person, white people, the proverbial phrase of white people, they run America. CEOs, Fortune 500 companies, execs, ownership, they run America. Not an individual white person, but collective white people.
Oh, yeah.
Again, collectivism. He concluded, I firmly believe that if the white person is your problem, only the white person can be your solution.
Wait,
I do have a solution.
wait. Run that one back again.
So again, So now black people have zero agency in their lives.
Yes.
And the only person who can be a solution to the problem of whiteness is white people.
So what does this guy think about black people then?
Oh, they're victims, and that's all that they can ever be.
So black people are completely...
They have no agency.
No agency. They're just helpless victims?
Yes.
So you think you're more racist towards black people than the perceived white people that you're pissed off at right now?
Yes. But his previous statement is telling. He's not really he doesn't care about individual white guy. He really doesn't. They run America, not an individual white person, but collective white people. This is the Marxism underlying collective race,
Because here's what's funny: if the individuals are not racist,
theory.
You have
critical
to
race
together.
theory.
So if you go individual by individual basis, you're going to really run out of racists because you really don't exist.
Exactly.
So you just lump everybody together, like that makes
the thing.
sense.
Yes, white people is not. This is the thing. White people is a monolith.
This sounds like the freaking housing market. You take all these crappy loans that they gave out to people, all these crappy mortgages, smash them together in a tranche. You put 1,000 crappy mortgages that nobody will pay, smash them together, and then they're A-rated tranche mortgages. That doesn't make it better.
Yeah.
You can't take 1,000 turds, put them together, and it's a freaking pizza. You can't do that. That's literally what he just said. So you're taking a bunch of white people that aren't racist, slapping them together, and magically they're racist all of a sudden.
Yes,
is that
as a monolith.
Is that the logic?
They are. Yeah, that is the logic.
Liberal logic? Sorry.
It's about the collective.
Wow.
It's
Wow,
about
dude.
the collective. This is just white people and people of color are the new proletariat and bourgeoisie.
Interesting.
So white people are the bourgeoisie, and the people of color are the proletariat.
And it's amazing that they have to completely dismiss the individual, because if they actually acknowledge it, the bourgeoisie, the idea of the proletariat, completely disappears, because we do not have a class system. We don't have a royalty, other than the Rothschilds and other than the Kennedys in America.
Rockefellers.
Rockefeller. We don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's okay. An NFL linebacker that worked his ass off and became an NFL linebacker, made millions of dollars, and Oprah are telling these white people, these compliant, bend the knee, kiss the boot white people, get next. Dude, I'm getting so angry. I'm getting triggered. Okay? I am triggered right now, bro.
Oh, for sure.
You feel me? I look insane right now, by the way, in this camera. Look at this. Looks amazing. So,
Looks
this
high.
is America.
It'll get better.
I'm reclaiming my time. So, yeah, here's the thing. Here's the moral of the story of all the crap that's going on right now. This is my moral of the story. Okay, because we're an hour and a half in. My blood pressure's rising already, and I'm already a large individual, okay? I will die fast, okay? You're trying to send me to Jesus faster, which I'm okay with. I want to see Jesus anyways. So it's all good. Long story short is this. It is amazing the story that is being created. There is a story that's being created. There was a story about these racist black cops that are out there hunting down black people that ended up not being true. There's a story of white privilege, even though Billy Bob in West Virginia magically doesn't have that white privilege, but according to a billionaire black woman, he has a step up in society other than her. There's a story that fireworks set off a bomb in Beirut. There's a story that, Mr. Barr is out there pulling the strings for Trump so that he wins, even though he's exposing the stupid that's going on there. There's a story that there's peaceful protests all over, even though people are dying. Buildings are burning.
There's a story that mail-in ballots are as legit as absentee ballots.
Yeah.
We don't have time to play the video we were going to play, but Nevada's the governor's already signed into law.
Yeah.
I mean, the Trump administration is taking it to the courts.
Yep.
But they're just going to have massive mail-in voting in Nevada.
Yep.
That's a huge problem, and it's totally different than absentee ballots because you have to have a reason to be absentee.
Well, one, you have to actually ask for one.
Yeah.
You have to ask for an absentee ballot because, like, when I was living in California, I still had residency in the state of Florida, so I had a absentee ballot from the state of Florida to vote in the elections.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted my vote to go to Florida because guess what? Your vote doesn't matter in California, even though my buddy who I just had dinner with in L.A., he's telling me even the hardcore lefties in L.A. are starting to be like, yeah, we're not about this Democrat thing. But anyways, I said it on the show. How many months ago?
You did.
California's going for Trump, and if it goes true, I'm gonna look like the prognosticator of prognosticators. I'm gonna look better than Punxsutawney Phil. You feel me? I'm gonna kill it. All right. But this is the madness. There's the story that absentee ballot and just mail-in ballots the same thing. It's not. If you want an absentee ballot, you have to register to vote, submit information to get that absentee ballot, and have it sent directly to you of your place of residence. And then you send it in. Mail-in ballot is just, hey, you have a ballot, you have a ballot, you have a...
Everybody has a ballot!
I'm just thinking of that Oprah.
Yep.
Everybody gets a car.
My favorite is where they did that. They took that and then they just had bees all over. Bees! And I was like, ah!
Yeah. But yeah, that's the difference. You got people that are dead getting absentee ballots.
Since you're reclaiming time, I have your ballots ready to mail in. Thanks for voting for my G. Biden.
You know, I heard on the Babylon Bee that Biden is so close to getting VP pick, he can smell her.
Yep. That was a good one.
But yeah, this is what's the madness. There is a story out there that is so fraudulent, and unfortunately we are conditioned in our society to put more value in story and myth versus reality. And thank God that God is in control. That's all I got to say about this situation. I came over triggered. I came over pissed off for greatness before I started the show, and I saw a massive rainbow outside of your house. It was glorious. Check out my Instagram. It's there. I was like, Matt, come on out! And I made his whole family come out and check out the rainbow, okay?
Yeah. At gunpoint, it was horrible.
And we're reclaiming the rainbow, alphabet people. We're reclaiming it for its original purpose, but God is in control.
The technical drum says, I have a friend that moved out of state years ago that lived at my house, and we still get absentee ballots with his name on them. The same thing happened. Tim Pool talks about, he had a buddy who was living with him, and he got an absentee ballot like a month ago.
Yeah.
For him.
Crazy.
Well, did not request it. It just got sent to him.
Yep. That's called fraud. And, you know, people are getting arrested for it. It was like 3 people in Toledo. They got arrested for it. 2 people in Cincinnati.
4 people in New Jersey.
I mean, it's happening all the time. Even though the media keeps saying, well, it doesn't happen, even though it's happening.
There's lots of studies saying that there's very limited fraud in mail-in ballots. Oh, no, you're talking about absentee ballots. Yes. Which, again, is a different thing.
Totally different thing.
You lying bastard.
Hey, man, but fireworks blew up Beirut. Anyways, fireworks.
Yeah.
You know, firecrackers. Pew, 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 pew.
Blow it was actually sparklers. So.
Sparklers, yeah. Because bottle rockets can, if you put enough bottle rockets together, it completely levels buildings. Yeah. That's normal. Completely normal. But yeah, long story short is this. There's a narrative, there's a story out there that's completely fraudulent. And thank God that he's in control. Thank God that I believe there's awakening happening in America. There's a reason why Plausible Foolishness exists. Because 2 normal guys who had nothing in common whatsoever came together and said, you know what, there's some stupid things going on in the world.
And they don't want us to talk about it.
Not at all.
I think we're going to talk about it.
And we have. It's episode 122.
You know, I was listening to Greg Gutfeld on Glenn Beck's podcast.
Yes.
And he was talking about how cancel culture is, we don't have a Second Amendment anymore, or a First Amendment. We don't have freedom of speech anymore.
Nope.
Because cancel culture will just shut everything about you down.
Yep.
And it's true.
And they'll try to get you fired.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's bullcrap.
Exactly. And then you work for a major corporation. Well, like, okay,
I don't friend anybody at my new job.
Well, and what he said to Glenn was, he was like, Glenn, you and a couple other people, like Dave Rubin and whatever, you're immune to it. And Glenn's like, no, we're not.
Yeah.
Because
advertisers,
banks are even getting involved in it now. Yep. They did it in New York with the gun manufacturers.
Yep.
They can shut you down altogether.
Yep.
And this is where we're talking. I mean, that's like Mark of the Beast level stuff, Yep. Where buying and selling is no longer available to you because you haven't taken the mark.
Let's read the Bible.
Or you haven't taken the knee right now.
Wasn't there like wars and rumors of war? Or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah.
That's weird.
Huh.
Huh. Hey, but it's all good. Listen, man, because God's in control. That's the most beautiful thing.
Is in
No
control.
matter all the stupid things that are happening right now, God is in control. I was gonna do Dave Ramsey. You know what I mean?
He's a good guy.
And I was gonna get a little shucky ducky for my boy. Rest in peace. See you up there soon. Love you, Herman Cain. But yeah, long story short is this, man. There's a story, and the beautiful thing is, the truth always wins. The truth always wins. It will always come out. Eventually, you're going to figure out Building 7. Eventually, you're going to figure out it wasn't a fireworks display. Eventually, you're going to figure out some things. You're going to figure out that Bill Clinton was on that island 26 times. Yeah. Even though, he's denying it.
With the girl that they said that he said that he wasn't with.
Yeah.
And never met.
That's crazy.
Was it Rachel Chandler or something
so
like
weird.
that?
He never met her, but was on the island with her.
And there's pictures.
There's actual
whatever.
evidence. But he wasn't there, But guess what? I've read the end of Revelation. God wins. No matter what your eschatology is, no matter how you think it's going to go down, as a follower of Christ, God wins. God wins. And you're not going to be a part of that win unless you submit and put your faith, your trust, your soul, your heart into Jesus Christ. Because here's the beautiful thing. You cannot do enough. You are sinful. You are rotten from the day you were born. You need a Savior. That Savior is Jesus Christ. God coming down, living an absolute perfect life for you and I, paying the ultimate penalty for every single sin we have committed or ever will commit. And he doesn't ask us to whip our backs. He doesn't ask us to do crazy things.
He only asks that you bend the knee.
Bend the knee.
Bend the knee. He's the only one you should be bending the knee to. And someday, everyone will be forced to. Every knee shall bow, and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Might as well. You might want to do it voluntarily.
Yeah.
Before you're forced to do it.
Amen. Amen. God wins. You're gonna be a sheep or a goat. In this context, you want to be a sheep.
Yeah.
But hey, we love you guys so much. It was a great show today. Went an hour 45 minutes. That's how much content we gave you because you guys have been taking care of us. We got to take care of you. We got the freaking green screen today. We've got production value. We're looking. It's just unbelievable. God wins, and He keeps pushing this show more and more and more. We're at episode 121. 122. Sorry, I always mess up the numbers.
It's all good.
I'm like.
That's what I'm here for.
I just mess it up, bro. That's my job. You ever watch Trailer Park Boys? I'm Ricky on the show. I just mess things up. I discombobulate things. You know what I mean? It's not rocket appliance. You know what I mean? It's an obstacle illusion. You know what I mean? I hate to say I taught it so, but I taught it so. You know what I mean? He like messes up every idiom. He messes up, and it's so
obstacle illusion.
It's an obstacle illusion, man. You know what I mean?
That's great.
But anyways, love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. We got the green screen because of your support, guys. Continue to subscribe, continue to follow, continue to share us. You can obviously you can donate on Locals, which is not a dating site. We've confirmed that it's not a dating site. Thank you so much for subscribing. That helps us out. You remember you get a free subscribe if you are a Google, not Google, Amazon Prime
member.
Amazon Prime member. We appreciate you guys. Slight plug for the Strong One side. Thank you so much for everybody buying the mugs and the shirts and the tips, which is hilarious. They give tips. They can give tips on this, which is crazy. I appreciate you guys. That's cool. Thank you so much. We're almost at 41,000 on the Strong One page. We are blowing up over here on TikTok or on Twitch, and we really appreciate you, and we appreciate the follows, man, because you guys energize us every single week. Like Wednesday's not even an option. It's like, dude, I'm going to your house. Yeah. I don't even think about it anymore. I'm like auto dialed in to do this because we love you guys and we love bringing you content. We love talking about the things that really matter from real people, real American perspective. We're not LA, we're not San Francisco, New York, Chicago. We're from real America. We dispel liberal logic, and we like dispelling the stupid things that are going on right now. You know what I mean?
For sure. Also, we got
tell us what you got,
we're gonna have the podcast up soon. It all depends on when Twitch pays out, but once it does, we'll be set.
We got money in the bank, bro. Show me what you think, man.
Yep, there'll be the audio version will be everywhere you can get a podcast.
Yes, 100%. So thank you guys so much for jumping on today. We appreciate you guys for following. You guys are massively supportive of us, and we always want to make sure we're supportive of you guys because we want to bring you premium quality. We obviously got to go up against Tucker. We obviously got to go up against some big dogs, and you guys are faithful and watching us every single day. So we want to make sure we bring it every single week. If you got show ideas, make sure you hit us up on the Discord page. We love Discord. My man handles Discord. Make sure you hit us up on Instagram. Even though they're trying to shut us down from saying true things on Instagram. Did you see that we got in trouble on Instagram a couple times?
No.
Bad boys. Bad. But make sure that you hit us up over there, guys. We really appreciate you for following. Another amazing night. Another amazing show.
Yep. Well, are we doing this again on Friday?
Yeah, man. I mean,
Right.
Lord willing.
See you Friday at 10.
Lord willing. Friday, 10 o'clock. It'll be after my pump, you know what I mean? After my Swole Patrol pump. But it'll be a little bit different. It'll be remote, but Wednesday we'll try to keep the green screen stuff going on and stuff for you guys. But we love you guys. We'll see you guys. Peace in the Middle East. See you, TikTok. Thank you so much for following. We appreciate